tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Eyeball top number here, you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the quarterback to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. To the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. TG from Kilmarnock Town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand,
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. TG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Just for fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic. Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
Right, good evening, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. We have yet another first round match coming up at the top of the hour in this year's 2026 Virtual 9-Ball World Championship. It's a match between Chicu, representing Chile, against Mooncake, representing the Netherlands. And I'm wondering whether Chicu is going to show up. But anyway, if he does, we should hopefully have a reasonable match. One thing to mention, Chicu is not a 9-baller. He is a billiard player, 3 cushions, his game, which he's pretty good at. I remember the last time watching him, I think he was in the 9-Ball World Championship, and he became he has arrived, so we do have a match. He was a bit of a banger. Maybe he lost interest quite quickly. And he might, if the match doesn't go quite his way, or he doesn't stay in it. But who am I to predict? At least he's turned up. And Mooncake, again, like quite a few players in VP4, he doesn't have a lot of table time. He doesn't hang around in the lobby. I think he's probably more akin to, I don't see Mooncake playing a lot at all, so I presume 9-ball's his game. So therefore I would have him as a favourite, if only for that reason. Welcome to Bedhead. I don't think Steve will be joining us tonight, at least I'm predicting that. I'm going to have a quick look. Yeah, well, he's certainly not in Discord, and that's still maybe a bit early because we've got 5 minutes to go. But we had a bit of a match last night, if you didn't get to see it, between Romario and Larry. I've just uploaded Romario's Massey shot that he asked me to upload. Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, Romario got himself in front for most of the match. There was a lot of mistakes, as predicted, and Romario probably should have had it won, but it went to, of course, to the final rack decider, and Larry sort of stumbled over the line. Not really all that convincing, in my opinion, for his longevity in the tournament. But I think it's like all of us. I think for some of his age is catching up with us. But anyway, Larry's there for another round. Quick look at the schedule. One thing to point out, that match there that's still shown in the schedule, that match is now null and void. Soft break ended up forfeiting. Tommy has gone through to the next round. That'll clear itself up at the top of the hour once the matches go live at 8 o'clock British summertime. There, of course, is a match we're going to cover. We have a match tomorrow morning, which I said I might be up to actually do this match the other night, but I've just forgotten the fact that Scotland play Brazil at 11 p.m. tonight, so I probably won't cover that match tomorrow. It's very unlikely because I won't be getting to bed till about after 1 o'clock in the morning, so I probably won't cover that. We've got Spud Boy and Acero on Friday, but that's at 1 a.m. My time, Friday morning, so I won't be there for that. And we have Sergresh and Bedhead on Saturday at 7 p.m, and I should be around for that one. So that's how the schedule has gone so far and what's left. There probably won't be many first-round matches still to go after those matches are done. Quick tab out. Yeah. I notice Steve arrived back in the lobby there, but he may well be busy, so I'm assuming he's not intending to join us tonight. But we're looking forward to this going ahead, probably about, another minute to go. And Scotland have a slim possibility of qualifying for the knockout stages, even if they lose to Brazil tonight. But that is a very slim opportunity because the other results have to go their way. And Scotland has never won against Brazil, and I don't even think we've ever drawn against Brazil in any World Cup matches that I've seen over the last 50 years. And we've played Brazil about 3 or 4 times in World Cups, and none of them have been successful. We've scored the first goal before and still ended up losing, so I am not building any hopes up. Welcome to Vertical Liquid. And, well, the people are boiling to death down in England. It's pleasantly warm up here. It's to be our warmest day tomorrow, round about maybe the high 70s, low 80s tomorrow, whereas they have had 36 point something degrees today, which is an all-time record for June down on the south coast of England. So that is well into the 90s, that temperature, but we will never see that here in Scotland, thank goodness. Right, I'm going to do one more tab. And now I'm going to close out Discord. Yeah, I'm closing out Discord. Steve isn't there. He would have been there by now. Now, I can't see. Let me have a look at that in the chat. 1910. And, well, I think it's a long shot that Chicu's going to win this 1916. I don't think that's on the cards. But, you know, you never know in 9-ball. They're probably underway. So let's go and hope it's a good one. Hope they both play well. And remember, no replays. Replay in XSplit is broken. And if I use replay, it will wreck XSplit and lock it up and kill the stream. Cue ball's gone.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, there's a good start.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
So ball in hand to Chicu. And well, let's see whether he holds himself together, because I wasn't all that impressed with him. But like I said, when I saw him, I think he was losing the match, so he was sort of losing interest and doing a wee bit of banging. Not necessarily the best control in the world, but we'll see if things change. You can't always judge somebody on the first time you've seen him. I've only ever seen him play 9-ball once. But needless to say, the obvious statement is he should be out. Races to 19, remember all these first round matches. And there's a mistake. When you start stunning balls in, you could have just rolled that in dead weight and just played 8 up the table. But that's the price you pay, because if you don't get them on the right alignment, you're going to give up the rack. So there's his chance come and gone. And, well, Mooncake's just going to do a little dab in this 8-ball. And that was a gift for Chicu, and already he's thrown one away. Just being a bit careless. And the safer shot was a slow roll rather than the stun. He didn't need to manoeuvre the cue ball over the left-hand side. You've got to, that's one thing to learn. Do the bare minimum. Don't try doing fancy stuff. It's the bare minimum is all you need. And that's a rack that most certainly 100% should have been Chicu's. Well, Mooncake's not got the cover, but he's got the distance. Chicu might even have a blast at this. Or is he trying to sneak? Well, this is tricky if he's trying to get the one back up the table. Yeah, because he's collided with the 6 ball. That was not the easiest cut in the world. And Chicu's got something similar. The other problem, of course, is he has to judge the spin in this cue ball to try and have any sight in this 4 ball, because the cue ball wants to run up table. And there was not really that much he could do with it. But he's given himself a shot. And this is going to be ugly, I think, is it? Unless it gets a kiss. Yeah. Well, you could play the double kiss to send the cue ball back up the table and leave the 4 ball there. A lot of players are a bit scared in playing that, but it's an easy enough shot. And that's not a bad effort, I don't think, from Chicu. But again, he's not quite got there. He's left that 4 ball open. And this is just a cut and run the cue ball 2 rails back over for the 5. Now, remember what I said, you know, that in the match I saw Chicu before, he did start to lose interest as that scoreboard started going the wrong way. And at the moment, it's going the wrong way very early on here, considering he's gifted a first rack away. And that's not bad line there for the 9. Pretty good. So, how many racks is that going to cost Chicu? It's cost him 2 so far. Ball's going in the break. No shot in the 1. But you can bank that back up the table and check the cue ball to stay behind the 6 and 8 and get cover that way. I think if you're going to go the other way and play the left-hand side of the 1 ball as we look, that's not probably a good idea because you're sending it nearer the pocket. The shot is to check the cue ball and bank that 1 back up the table and keep the cue ball behind the 6, 8 and the 4 ball. But he's actually hit that not too bad. He's got it thin and the 2 ball's a blocker. But he could have played a better one where he had cover. And now Chicu has returned the favour and put Mooncake in trouble. And of course, I think we've got a World Cup game that started right now. I can't remember who's playing, but there's one at the top of the hour there at 8 o'clock my time. So there'll be people watching that. Well, that was so bad it was good. Look at where the 1 ball's gone. He certainly didn't play that. It was so bad it ended up good, but he had no shot on the 2. He's had a bang at the 2. Cue ball's gone. And ball in hand again for Mooncake. So this is again the same old story here for Chicu in this rack. He's had a chance to get a rack in the board. He's blown it. And Mooncake is in just to tidy up the mess. So this is the most difficult shot in the rack here, is actually, well, probably not. It might be going from the 4 to the 6, depending on the angle he has. Let's have a look. Well, he's sitting pretty good here. Just a little draw back is all he needs. But this is touchy when you're playing these draw shots. You don't want to be starting running around the table and going all over the place and hope you get lucky. You've got to control it. So the sort of stun draw has worked reasonably well, and that's not going to be that bad, because if he takes a good lump of this 8 ball, he'll be on the 7 anyway, clean. He just doesn't want to fall behind the 8 ball. And he's pushed it out the way, which was a sensible thing to do. Welcome to Happy Dolo. Good evening or good afternoon, depending where you are. Or good morning, even. So, it's not a good start here for Chicu. We've seen the chances he's had, and they've all gone south. And now he's going to be 3-0 down. Well, I feel that he's going to have to get a couple of racks on the board fairly soon, or he may well, as I said, just lose interest and just start having a pop at them and getting this over. Well, that 5 ball looked at the pocket, decided against it. Breaks dry, Chiku's got no shot. And this is actually dodgy to try and play this safe. I mean, because you can't really get the cue ball away from there with that 6 ball sitting where it is. He's had a bang, hoping to get lucky. And again, when you start doing that in well, in any game in pool, in virtual pool, the end result is usually not going to be that good. So Mooncake's at the table, but look at where the 2 ball is, right down in the middle diamond, the bottom rail here. He's got a fair bit to do with the cue ball. How's his luck? Not bad. Now, he's just got to be careful where the 2 ball ends up, because he doesn't want to be hooked with the 6 if the cue ball's going to nip up the table. And he's okay. That was the only thing that could have gone wrong. Maybe the 6 ball's in the way for this 2 ball to come down this side. See, this would have been simple to check that in and come down that side for the 3 ball. You see, the 6 ball was always going to get in the way. So now it's a slightly more challenging cut shot. And again, got to think about the cue ball, because look where the 4 is. The 4's right up in the shot rail up top, and there's traffic in the way up there. So this is by far not an easy shot. And he's played for a little bump, almost fluked to 9, but he's blocked himself off with the 7. So Chicu better get ready here. Now, again, there's a strong chance this 4 ball could get kicked in. He's not from that side, though. I'd still be going from that side. He thinks he can bank this up the table. I don't know whether he can get the cue ball out of the way quick enough. Well, he's not trying to bank it. He's just trying to keep it safe, and that's not bad. I mean, Chicu could try cross-banking that and bringing the cue ball back down. He might try cutting it up the rail, but that's never going to guarantee him anywhere near the 7 ball. This is tough. Well, he's gone all out for the cut. It was difficult enough, and it's, in fact, tell a lie, my bad. I forgot about the 6. I never even noticed the 6 ball there. My mistake.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Well, all of a sudden, it's a scratch again from Chicu, and all things bad are happening here for him. He's the architect of his own downfall, though, I'm afraid. It's not anything Mooncake's doing. All he's doing is just tidying up racks here. given the opportunity, and it's a sad story already for Chicu. Oh, you're in Dublin, Happy Dolo. In Dublin, Fair City. So rack number 5. Chicu still looking for first blood here.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, it's not got the legs. But we've lost the 6 and 7 ball. No shot in the 1. And just to push out from Mooncake. Oh, Chicu's got to watch the scratch again here if he's going to have a go at this 1 ball past the 8 into this bottom right-hand corner. He's got to watch the scratch. In fact, he's trying to get cover. Well, I don't know that it's worth actually having a go at this 1 ball. I think trying to bring that cue ball back across and use these for cover and send the 1 ball up the table might be the plan here. Well, did he go for the bank? But anyway, the end result's not too bad. Oh, here we go again. Cue ball's gone south once again for Chicu. Well, this is like deja vu, this rack. But it's always the same, and I think it doesn't matter what game it is. If the tables get pockets on it, and you start running that cue ball loose and uncontrolled, there's a fair odd that you're going to hit a pocket. And Chicu's proved that. Now let me open my fresh 5-litre bottle of water here because I'm needing lubrication. If I can get it open, that is. And this is my last of my water supply, so I'm going to have to go and get more. I'll need to go and get some tomorrow. Well, it's all too comfortable at the moment for Mooncake. He's just having to wait on the mistake from Chicu and do the rest. And it's a very, very familiar story in these racks. But there's a long way to go. But the one thing you can't do is, you know, rely on your opponent falling apart. You've got to make things happen for yourself. But I think above all, if you're Chicu, you have to keep the cue ball on the table. So Mooncake comes up dry with a 5-0 lead. He's going to get cover here, I think, unless the cue ball leaks out. Well, he's got cover. It's not a difficult hit, of course. Easy enough to kick the back of that 1 ball. If you hit it half ball on the bottom right side as we look, then you're sending it over towards the cluster like that. But he's hit it a bit harder than I thought he would. But he's maybe actually left a 1-9 combo here partially. I don't know. I think he can maybe get enough of this 1 ball to play the combo. Well, try to give it every chance to go in. And that could possibly be Chicu's chance there. Come and gone as quick as you blink. Well, the obvious problem in the table is a 4-ball. Now, you've got to make a decision. The decision is whether you're trying to play the 4 down here past the 6, in which case the angle that you have in the 3 is all important as to whether you can drop behind the 4. Now, he may well be able to get behind that 4 from that angle. He's got enough to do it rather than trying to play a 4-9 combo. Well, he is trying to play a 4-9 combo. He's letting it run out, and this is running out not too bad a line. That's perfect, pretty much. And you see, if he'd played it softer, he would have had the 4-ball long, but he's got himself right on the money here for this 9-ball. And there we are. Punished again, Chicu. 6-0. And I think for a lot of these racks, even already in this match, Chiku's pretty much been in first in all of them. All of these racks he's had first go, and not got there in any of them, one way or another. Once again, this would be the difficult shot, getting on the 2, and he's overcooked that. You've got to remember, Chiku's far used to a much faster table. So playing on a normal pool table in VP4 is night and day compared to what he's used to. He's used to a slick 3-cushion table that runs 100 miles an hour. And that's where he's struggling to get a hold of the pace and control his pace, and he's now out of line. And it's all about recovery shots. And again, the scratch is on here with this cue ball. Got to be careful. He's come down below the 7. Giving himself half a chance here if he can get this 5-ball. And again, he doesn't need to do too much with the cue ball. He just needs to stay above the 7 and roll it in, and he's on the 8. See, now, what did I just say there? You know, he's trying to do far too much with the cue ball and unnecessary movement in the cue ball. He just had to roll the 5 in and stay up there and roll the 7 down into the bottom right-hand corner pocket. And then he's on the 8, and then the 9 is easy. So again, there's a naivety about Chicu in the way he's going about this. And again, no reason whatsoever to move that cue ball like he did. And he got lucky, having said that. Mooncake had to try and bail himself out there. I think he was partially hooked. If not hooked in full, but here we go. Is he going to get his first rack on the board? No. Again, the concentration is not there. You know, he's missing a sitter of a 7-ball because he's in too much of a hurry. This is exactly how he was playing the last time I saw him. He's just rushing stuff and not taking his time. And look at this. Chicu gets another gift of he's going to have to bank this, I think, if he can. Mooncake playing the big stun, rattles the 7-ball. Now he needs to get the cue ball out of the way quick here if he's going to try and play that. He could just tuck this along the rail and try and get down behind the 8-ball here. I mean, that shot's on. If he can spin the cue ball up, he's now going to try and kick this in. And it's, you know, he might have been able to read the rails on the 3-cushion table, but not in this table. So again, a gilt edge opportunity comes and goes for Chicu, and he throws it away. And it's really far too comfortable for Mooncake. And it gets me rattling on about the same thing time after time. Why doesn't a player just think a wee bit more about what he's doing or what needs doing? You know, playing a big stun and trying to run the cue ball somewhere that's not necessarily that you have to do it is not the way to go about it. Keep it simple as you can. And that was another rack where, again, Chicu had more than one opportunity to win it. Well, this is now a wee bit awkward. I don't think the two ball has a pocket anywhere up that end of the table. They can certainly try and cut it into the corner down here. It's really the only pocket that's available. Not sure what he tried there. But anyway, dare I say it, here we go again. But that 6 ball, yeah, he's having a pop now. It's like a replica of what I've seen before with Chicu, where he's 7-0 down. He's very quickly lost interest in this. And that's not going to help his situation, having to kick at this 2 ball. He's got to watch he doesn't kick this hard into the back of the 2, or the cue ball will scratch along the rail. Like that. Commentator's eye. There you go.
Where's the cue ball going?
I told you, folks. Never doubt the commentator's eye. Well, the most difficult thing for Mooncake here is that 6 ball. Far and away, it's the most difficult one because you've got to get good on it. And ideally, you want to get above it and play it down into this bottom right-hand corner pocket. You do not want to have to try and play that up the rail into the top corner pocket as we look, because that side pocket is going to do it. No, not a lucky guess. It's never a lucky guess for me. I mean, my commentator's eye could see that happening every day of the week if you hit the back of that ball, and you know that as well, Bedhead. Well, he's doing exactly what I wouldn't want to do, because this is riddled with danger here. My donut's gone again, folks. I've got a bug with my donut missing. I'm going to have to... Now, what did I have to do the last time? It wasn't just leave the room. I think I had to do a quick restart because my donut's not functioning. Help. Do that. That's not doing anything. Get rid of that. Either way, Mooncake looks as if he's going to be 8-0 up. I'm going to do a quick bailout and come back in. This is another bug that's in VP4 that Steve's never fixed. Your donut disappearing. Yeah, it's just flickering. So this for 8-0. Right, I'm just going to quit this at the moment. I'll be back in a second. Here we are. Back in. Right, check the donut. Donut is working again. And Chicu at the table again. Well, he's actually just brushed that 8 ball, and again, that's done him a favour. Is he going to get a rack in the board? Is he going to slow down, take his time a wee bit, not hook himself behind the 7? Right, so now all he has to do is get the cue ball spinning out to the right a bit to leave the long 7 ball. That's all he has to do. I mean, if he's going to try and move to get this 7 ball in the left-hand side pocket, you see. So he's done more work. Now, fair enough, this time he's got there. You know, but he could have just kept it really simpler. So 2 more balls to get a rack in the board. And still there's a doubt that he'll do it. Now he's got a wee bit more of a cut. I'd much rather he was looking this straight down the barrel, but he should get this. And finally, one of a fair few that he should have had, but it gets him off the mark. Seven ball goes in. Cue ball coming up the table. Shot in the 1, 2 over the side. 3 up in the left-hand side. 4 over the top right-hand corner pocket. And that shot there was terrible. He's hit that like a sledgehammer, and he's gone way past the 2 into the side. And now he's trying to squeeze this past the 4, which he has done. Fair play to him, but there's no way he's had to play that. But I'll give it to him. He's dug one out there. So this is the make or break shot. He has to get down in this bottom half of the table, which should not be difficult to do. He's either going to play this in the side or into that top left-hand corner pocket. I can't believe he's going to try and get in the short side of this 5. Now that pace looks not too bad. Well, the only slight problem, well, it's more than a slight problem, is the 8 balls in the way. Now, he could stun this in and stun past it. Well, he's actually brushed off the 8. It's done him a favour. He'll settle for that, apart from the fact he's nailed to the rail. So again, leave the slight angle in this 8 ball and just roll it in. The cue ball will drop down onto the 9. That's all you have to do here, is just leave that slight angle. Now he's trying to go over the right side, and the problem now is he's going to have to drop down in the short side here. Unless he drops on top of this 9 ball, but he's going to go that direction. Unless he's going to start stunning things in again to try and come across, and that's more risky doing that. It looks as if that's what he's doing. Yeah, he's had a big stun, but he hasn't quite got there. Now, this 9 ball's well off the rail. I still expect him to get it, but watch for the scratch up table. Got to keep this cue ball away from corner pockets. It's heading that direction, but he's okay. So it's 2 in a row suddenly for Chicu. That will give him a wee bit more encouragement. No, Mooncake hasn't had to play good, Romario. He's actually been feasting off all the opportunities that Chicu's had and not been able to put racks on the board. That's the story of the match so far. Chicu's, well, just 2 racks ago he got himself off the mark. Now he's come up dry. And that 9 ball is just hanging there to be knocked in quickly here with a quick combo. There you go, bang, and it's over. Five ball goes into the bottom corner. Something went into the side pocket, which might have been the 3. Yep, 3 and 5 have gone. Testy cut on the 1 ball. The problem's where the cue ball wants to go, way up table. He doesn't want to bump anything here if he can help it, or if he does, he wants to bump the 4. Well, he's missed him, going through the gap, and this is perfect. Little bounce. Now, again, the cue ball wants to run over towards the 7 off the rail here. And again, you've got to be careful you don't hook yourself. So he's playing it soft to stay in the right side of the 4. That would have been dodgy to trifle with that 7 ball. So Mooncake looks as if he's going to widen that gap back to 8 racks. Oh, welcome to Hazard. Well, it must be boiled to death temperatures in Spain. If it's like 36 degrees down in the south coast of England today, that's a record temperature they've had for June. So it must be in the 40s in Spain. It's certainly in the 40s in France. So that's just unbelievable temperatures. You can have them as far as I'm concerned. Well, Mooncake's got work to do here. There's a little dab into the side here, this 8 ball. Got it comfortably. So any ideas that Chicu had of a comeback there very quickly snuffed out. Chiku's 2 in a row has very quickly been responded by 2 in a row from Mooncake. And now Mooncake is halfway home after just 35 minutes. And again, ball into the side pocket, didn't quite catch what one it was. Might be in the 6. And no shot in the 1 this time though. Ah, that's good to hear. It's good to hear you're boiling to death down there. As I said, you know, up here in Scotland, I think today it got up to like 22, 23, which is a very pleasant 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow's to be our warmest day in the south of Scotland. It's cooler up north, of course, but down where I am, they're forecasting round about the 80-degree mark tomorrow. I won't see any of it because I'll be going out early to get my 5-litre bottles of water in, and then that'll be it. I won't be over the door. Oh, this is horrible for the poor animals. I mean, for especially dogs with their thick coats, some of them. Yeah, the dogs don't want to go out in this kind of heat. They just want to lie down. Lie down in the shade somewhere, but even lying down in shade doesn't help you much when the temperature's 100 and whatever. You're still going to get cooked. Right, well, Mooncake with a 10-2 lead. His first potting chance here on the 1 ball. Going to be a long 2. Now you can actually stun this in and hold the cue ball up there or come over to the left slightly for the long 3. Again, if you're trying to come down the table to play the 3 in the side, you're asking for trouble with that 7 ball there. So he's done the right thing. And now he just needs to roll this in and he's on the 4. And just almost let the cue ball get away too much there. He's still got a shot. Maybe a little dink round behind the back of the 8 ball. And this is a 1. Now again, you can move this cue ball with a bit of help in English here to go 2-3 rails so you get a better line in this 7 ball. You got to just juice it up with a bit of right-hand spin to help it around the corner. See, he's going across. He's going to end up sort of almost in no man's land. He could have run that 3 rails there. It makes the cut that wee bit more difficult to judge when you're putting that English on. But, you know, he's got a shot, but he's now got to work the cue ball a lot more. And again, it's leaked away. Yeah, I think the 3 rail shot was very much the the objective there to get that, just to come into a better line. And now he's out of place here. And again, stuck to the rail. There's not a lot you can do with the cue ball. See, and that's how you end up running out of line, and then you end up leaving yourself something too difficult. So, you know, Mooncake chose the one option. I would have chose my option. My option, had I achieved that, would have been a far better one to make it an easier line for potting that next ball. And, you know, holding the cue ball in a better line to go on your next shot. So another opportunity for Chicu. This time he steals the rack. So he's getting dribs and drabs here, Chicu. That 7 ball, I don't think it's got the legs. It's not got the legs, I don't think, has it? No. So it's dry. But this time, Chicu gets a roll of the ball. Mooncake's got no shot. Looking at a push out. Well, I suppose you can just push it down there and leave an edge. Chicu might try some silly billiard shot here. You never know. You know, being a 3-cushion player, he might have a go at something like that. He's having a look at it. That's the idea. I think he's got that in mind here, trying to play the billiard onto the 7. Well, he almost got it, but what he gets with his troubles is he's left the 1 ball on. Now, I think, let me have a look. Whether he can squeeze past this 5 ball, and he needs to stun this, I think. Is it going to run? Well, he's actually, I don't think he had to do an awful lot with that. I thought that was a lot more difficult. Actually, it was a perfect line dropping down on the 2. Well played. Well, you must have a doggy paddling pool, surely, for the dog to go in, keep itself cool in the water. The dogs will love that. Where's this cue ball ending up? He's trying to hook himself behind the 7. He's okay though. He's got lucky. Well, again, this couldn't be simpler. You know, you roll the 7 ball in, keep the cue ball up the top side there for the 8. Stun the 8 down the rail, hold for the 9 into the corner, or drop through for the 9 into the side. It's so easy. You get 2 simple choices here with this last 2 balls. See, he's actually, you know, I would have checked that to send that more in line towards the rail rather than coming out like this. So now the cue balls want to come out. So now he's having to just hold it up, which he's done very well again. All about keeping it simple. So now the gap goes back to 8. No, I don't think anything went in. Did it? Dry break. No shot on here for Chicu either. The 3 ball's a blocker. Now, can he send that 1 ball round behind the back of the 3 and duck the cue ball behind the 4 here? Can he get that line? I don't know whether that line is on to do that. He's trying it. Oh, he didn't get enough spin on it. He didn't get, and all he's done is set it up again for Mooncake. It was vital that he got the spin in that to get it ducking in behind the 4. He certainly he played it well enough to get the one around the corner behind the 3, but he never thought about the spin in the cue ball to get it in the back of that 4. Well, you know, if it was Albinario, Cobra, and those guys at the table, you know what's happening. The inevitability is there's going to be another rack on the board here. That should also be for Mooncake. Although he's maybe a bit hot and cold in terms of the table time that he gets in VP4. But you'd still expect to get out on this table. Going a bit straight on this 4, so it needs a little bunt to get the cue ball out. Really what you want to do is just drop that 5 into the top corner and hold for the 6 into the same pocket. And he's perfect angle to do that. Absolutely perfect angle just to hold it. Come behind the 6. And play it in the same pocket. Little stun. Well, again, he's got into that too much with the angle. You see, you needed to hit that more controlled and softer to play the little stun. He's let the cue ball leak away too far here. A good recovery, though. Now, this is a 3-railer every day of the week. The only danger is a scratch. You get it juiced up going that way. You can come this way. I'm much rather doing the fancy stuff. He's going the safe route. But I'm always open to going the 3 rails and risking the scratch. But he played the sensible way. And again, nothing to do with the cue ball other than roll this in and roll the cue ball out to get near the rail. So Mooncake doesn't look to be that he's going to fall apart here and let Chicu get back into this. He's only given Chicu consolation racks here. 7 ball into the right side. Don't think there's a shot in the 1 though. I think it's covered by the 8, or is there an edge showing? Well, there is a cigarette paper edge of that 1 ball. Now looking for cover behind these 2 balls, and he's got it. Now, this could be a billiard off the back of the 1 and not the 2. And commentator's eye again, Bedhead. Giving this a blast, try and nudge the 2 in and get lucky in the 1. Or is he trying to play the combo? I don't think you can see enough of it. Well, he got the back of the 1, he got the 2, but he didn't get it thick enough to actually pot it. Oh, he'll settle for that, though. 1 ball's gone safe. Now, again, this is tricky, getting this thin enough to tuck it along towards the 2 and use the 8 and 5 here. Oh, I think he's played that pretty damn good. That's a very good touch there. Oh, I mean, I don't know that you can see enough of this 1 ball at all. Well, I think that looks a foul every day. No, tell a lie. The 1 ball's above the 2. He might be able to just tickle. That's too heavy. I would have played that a lot softer than that. But anyway, he hasn't really left anything on other than a bank. Got a swimming pool. And the dog doesn't go in it. Well, there's one way to get the dog in the swimming pool. That is grab the dog and throw it in. Goodness me. The clues are there. It's got no choice if you throw it in. And it gets it used to the swimming pool. Now, is there a gap? Yeah, there's a gap, but there's no shot on. Well, this could be a This could be a combo onto the 3, I think. For Mooncake, I don't think there's any way he's going to refuse that. He's going to have a go at it. Now, the problem with playing that shot is I think you've got to play it like dead weight, because this 1 ball, if you play it harder, is going to bank off the long rail and come behind the 2. That's where I think it wants to go. See, a bit like that. A bit like that. I would have played that more dead weight. Well, he sort of got lucky there with that 1 ball having a bump in the 5, because I think it was running a bit loose. But anyway, Chicu's only got an edge of this 1 ball, and if he gets it too thick again, he's going to tee it up over that other corner pocket. Well, he has left a cut, but look where the 2 ball is. I think all you can do is cut this and come over to the 9 ball side, above the 9 ball where the cue ball is now. In fact, he's not interested. He could have done that. He could have potted that and stayed up there and played the cut from a distance in the 2. But again, he's, you know, Mooncake's deciding he's not going to take on anything, you know, that lets Chicu come in and have an easy table. You know, that just keeps the pressure on your opponent. If you start taking liberties, then, you know, the balls, you know, the old saying is the balls never forgive you if you start doing stupid things and everything can turn on its head. So you don't want to even go down that road. Well, this time, Mooncake's got the kick, but Chicu has the shot and a chance to get another rack on the board. Now, he needs to get off the rail. He's stunning straight onto the rail. That's not what you want, but he should be fine because the 4 ball's right over the top pocket. He's not going to scratch, but it was heading towards the scratch, though. Now, again, you can stun what you know. He's got to watch what he's doing with that Q-tip on the cue ball here. He's trying to come behind the 5. And you see, he's totally misjudged it. And again, that's another perfect example of having no table time playing 9 ball. It's very difficult to judge the spin and the speed and the control when you don't play 9 ball all the time. But he was lucky he had a shot behind it. But again, not a gimme in the 8 ball. Where's the cue ball finishing here? I think he might be okay. Or sort of no man's land slightly. Can he put the 9 away? Yes, he can. Rack number 4 on the board. We'll have a quick look at the bracket as it stands. Cue ball's gone. And we'll see how many matches are still left. Obviously, we've got, I think, what's left already on the schedule. But we'll see who's matched up in round 2. So Mooncake, with that ball in hand, he's gone dead straight in this 2. And he's probably going to have to drop in behind that 9 ball up there if he can. Well, he's going to bump it. Has he bumped it hard enough? Yeah. Now, ideally, you want to spin this up and try and run into the 5 or the 8 here and hold for that 4. That's what you want to try and do. Well, he's going the other way. He's going up and down, but he might be hooked behind the 5 or the 8. I think he's okay, though. I would have actually played that with a wee bit of spin to try and bump into either of them and stop running up and down the table, but he's sort of got away with it. It was risky. I think the bump onto the 5 or the 8 was, again, the simpler shot. Now, this one, you've got to look at the 6. It's below the pocket, so you're either going to come across and play it long down the rail, or you're going to dink round the back of this 8 and get high enough up so you can play a controlled shot on this 6 ball into the side. So you need to make your mind up what you're doing. See, he's played it, he's erred on the safer shot in terms of guaranteeing he's going to have a shot in the 6. Now, the other thing is where are you going with the 7? Because you're not coming into this pocket. You could be going forward and coming around and playing into the side, or you could risk scratching and play it into the other corner. He was lucky there, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And that's what it tends to be when you don't have a lot of table time. And that's a bit like myself. If I go in and I usually go into a room and bang a few balls at 9 ball. But the problem is you don't have that table time. I don't have anywhere near table time like I used to years and years ago. And you find it difficult to get that control. And the other problem is that's married up with consistency as well, and having that touch. And Mooncake's probably had a lot of that effect in his game as well. Same with Chicu. Chicu, not a 9-baller, predominantly billiards he's interested in. I don't think he's got very little interest in 9-ball as it is. And so you're always going to see the frailties of these type of players who don't spend their time playing 9-ball as a game or VP4 as a game in whole. Mooncake visits now and again, but he doesn't generally be one of these players that hangs around the lobby. And it always affects your game when you're not getting that table time. Hang on a minute. Where's my John Virgo went to? John Virgo's disappeared. That's working. But my John Virgo's gone south somewhere. Well, that'll no do. Hang on a minute. We can't have that. We'll wait to see the end of this rack, and then I'm going to swap over my mouse, and we'll give him that. We'll give him that. I can't have John Virgo gone missing. We'll get that sorted right away.
Where's the cue ball going?
There you go. John is back. So, we're into rack number 19. It's a 10 rack lead for Mooncake. An unassailable lead, I'm going to say. There's a chance that Chicu might get another 1 or 2 consolation racks, but that's pretty much going to be it, I think. There might also, I hasten to add, be bad news for Mooncake in terms of who he's going to meet up with in round 2. I haven't studied that, but I'll do that at the end of the match. But it would be more than likely going to be something a bit tougher than this. Oh, good evening to Interchange X. Well, the story of this match is that for the first 8 racks, Chicu couldn't see his way through to actually winning a rack. It took him 8 racks or 9 racks before he got off the mark. That's just gone perfect on the 7 ball. Just a little stop Little dig down to hold it, or even just drop it in dead weight like that. One of the two, whatever's the comfortable shot for you. Oh, he's dicing with the side pocket.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, you got to watch. You're running loose again. But anyway, another one escaped. And Mooncake marches on. Right, well, we've got 11 viewers watching this. I'm setting a target of at least 6 likes, people. The likes are dwindling. Even if you don't like me or you don't like the stream, hit the like button, because it helps with YouTube's algorithm for me, for a small, measly channel like myself. You've got to, if you don't hit the likes, then, you know, the way of describing it is YouTube doesn't see your video. If it doesn't see any acknowledgement, then there's no reason to actually pop it up for anybody who's interested in billiards. So hit that like button, please. And also what you should be doing is you should be hitting the bell. Because if you hit the bell gives you the alert when I go live. Now, you know, there's the odd occasion where it won't necessarily be virtual pool, but that's just the odd occasion. But you'll get an alert that I've gone live in YouTube, and it might be something that you're interested in. It might be a match that you weren't aware of. So if you hit the like as well as the bell, you'll get the notification, which a lot of people don't do. And it's one way that you can help my channel. I mean, next year, I'll have been at this for 20 years. And in 20 years, I've still not got 1,000 subscribers. That's how piss poor my channel is, and compared to all the very popular games that people love to stream. And they're generally all multiplayer shooter games that I happen to be piss poor at and always have been, which is another reason why I've got absolutely no interest in them, because I'm crap at them. So Chicu, well, he's lining himself up here to get another one on the board. We'll give him a target of 7, but he's not got many racks to play with here. See, there he's gone doing something stupid again. You know, absolutely no need to do that with the cue ball there. And that's why he's ended up missing the 9 ball like that. You see, there, everything in that last sequence there was numpty-ish. And again, stupid. There's no defence in that at all. That is just idiot. What's the word I'm looking for? Aye, numptiness. I'll stick with numptiness, because that was just daft doing that. And again, you know, he just wants this over. Well, that's the problem. That's exactly it. Keep it simple. You know, all this spinning the cue ball and running it 3 rails when you're trying to just claw your way into the match and stay alive, you're leaving yourself trouble. And he deserves all he gets, because, you know, only a fool would do stuff like that. It's a very simple lesson to learn. What's the simplest thing you can do for this next shot? Is just pop it in, nip across for the next ball, or do you pop it in, run 3 rails, and try and get the opposite end of the 9 ball to play it down in the bottom corner, and then do you follow it up with actually missing the pot in the 9? Well, don't choose that option, because that's the Chicu option, and that's the destined to fail option as well, putting yourself in trouble. And it could be his last shot for all we know, because in the next 4 balls here, Mooncake's going to be on the hill, breaking for the match. Now he's going to keep it simple, because this is just drop this in dead weight, roll the 8 in, roll the 9 in. And this match started at 8 o'clock my time, and it is now 3 minutes past 9. So this has been swift and probably the fastest in the tournament so far. Unless Albinario's and One Pocket Slims was any faster, considering that they both won 19 racks to 1. This hasn't been quite the same bloodbath, but it's not far off it. But anyway, Mooncake has got a ball, and I'm going to say it is Arnie time. I think it is, folks.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah. And I wonder what Strother Martin thinks of what Chicu's been doing, because Strother Martin will tell you it straight.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
That's true, because they keep doing stupid stuff. Well, little dink in the 4. Just hold the cue ball a wee bit, which he's done. Now, you've just got to then make the decision, where are you going with this 8 ball? When you dink the 6 in, are you just going to dink up the table and stud up the table for the 8 in the side, or are you going to leave the 8 long? Make your mind up. That's what you have to do. Well, he's not playing it in the side. He's getting right on the money. That's perfect. Straight behind it for the corner. Now, this is a little stun in a hole with the cue ball. Jab that in, and then roll the 9 in for the match. Well, this is as comfortable as you can pretty much get it for Mooncake. A nice, comfortable start. No pressure at all from Chicu, and Mooncake runs out by 19 racks to 4. So well done to him. But like I said, let's have a look and see what's going on here. Didn't ask you to come into my room. If you do, just play by the rules. I don't know who that is he's talking about. Somebody that's left the building. Anyway, to more important matters, where are we going? That's where we're going. Going on to this, and well, have a quick look at what we have left in this first round. First of all, we have Jose and Interchange X. And Interchange X, anything happening there in terms of your match if you're still there? Because you've got until the 27th, which is only a couple of days away now. You're running out of time here to get organised. So that's one remaining first round match. All the others have been taken care of. Spudboy and Acero's already scheduled for the early hours of the morning, whenever that is, on the 26th. I won't be there for that, needless to say. Tommy's waiting in the winner of that match between Spudboy and Acero. Mooncake is now through to play Bankster, so he's going to get more stern opposition than he had just now against Bankster. Bankster's going to be more of a challenge for him in that match. We've got Polka Bouter, who got a bye through from Brainful out in that first round match. Brainful out ended up forfeiting, and we're waiting on something happening with Spectre Dawn and Timberwimp Pinchins. Nothing's happened there so far either. So that's another first round match remaining. We have One Pocket Slim through to round 2. Waiting to see if anything's going to happen with Sargo and NSWAR. We go further down, we can see that Graphics Card has got his match arranged with Coke, which, as I said, is tomorrow morning at 7 AM my time. I probably won't be able to get that now if I stay up and watch the Scotland game. I'm only going to get disappointed anyway, but it probably means that I won't make that for that match. We've got Miskin through to round 2, who is waiting on the winner of that match between Coke and Graphics Card. We have Bedhead and Sergeresh arranged for 7 PM, whenever that is. I think it might be Friday. and then the winner of that one will play Larry. So that's what's left on the schedule, those matches that are already set up. That one between Sergresh and Bedhead, in fact, not it's Friday, it's Saturday. Spudboy and Acero's the early hours of Friday morning. So that one on Saturday night looks good to me. I should be able to get that one at 7 p.m. So well done to Mooncake. Good luck next time, Chicu, if there is a next time in that one lost side. Yes, there's sympathy for both players not playing the game that much. You have to give them a bit of slack for that. But like I said, Mooncake needs a bit more table time and practice before he faces up to Bankster, because he's going to test him a bit more than what he got tonight. So that's it, folks. I'm off for a coffee. Catch the end of this match that's on, whatever match it is, and then get set for the Scotland game when it happens. Well, your speed control's going to be like that. Like I said, that if you don't have the table time and you don't spend many hours of the day like Spectre Dawn does, then yes, that's going to be why you're going to struggle. And that's my excuse all the time as well. I used to sit in VP and play hours on end, and now that doesn't happen now. And even when I do feel like playing, I'm knackered anyway, getting home from work. So I've got all the excuses in the world. Right, that's it, folks. Do hit the like button. Do hit the bell for notifications if you can. And I'll see you again very soon. So until then, I'll bid you a very good night and take care. And we will see you again very soon, hopefully. Take care. See you later.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.